Alrighty. Good morning, everyone. Cabo here. Today, I've also decided to be cute and tired. I did mention that I was gonna go to the doctor, but it was the doctor's like at the other side of like the city, so I had to like go all the way over there, and then I felt like I was taking too long, and then there was no parking spot to actually take, so I nearby, and I had to take one that was really far away, and then I had to run over to where the doctor is, and then I had to we talked for a bit. Well, it's a very quick appointment, thankfully. That every single appointment that I've had with the doctor is just like really quick. It's more of like a checkup kind of thing. It's also not a sort of like life threatening kind of thing or anything that's like really much of like a big deal. It's just like a genetic kind of thing that I have to like keep under control. Because if I don't, then I don't look really good. I look pretty bad as a person, like to the point to like being like scary. But anyways, doctor's little appointment went good. I'm here. I'm a little bit late, as expected, because of the traffic. Traffic's always really annoying in the city. Anybody that has driven a car can attest to this statement. Yeah, driving is like really nice, but it's like the biggest problem is just like having to deal with traffic or having to deal with like really bad drivers. It's just like an absolute pain, right, Coralie?
一時期カレンダーの月曜は日曜プラスに変えたけど役に立たなかった。
There's also the issue like on this time of the year in my city, the weather is like really annoying, or like the feeling of like hot and cold is like really annoying. Like you go out feeling cold, and suddenly you're feeling really hot, like you're sweating with your current clothes, so you take a layer off, and then suddenly you start feeling cold again, so you put another the layer on, but because it was hot before, you're already sweating, and so it feels even colder because of your sweat. And then I get home, and it's just like it's cold inside the home as well. It's just like it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. I hate it. The that feeling of just like being not knowing how many layers you should have, because it's always going to be either too cold or too hot. It's like so annoying. But anyways, today, Honkai Impact 3rd, I have to just like cut down on my yapping a little bit on the start, because I'm falling behind on time, and I want to be able to do as much as possible. And I have to finish chapter 20, the Immortal Phoenix, and I have to start chapter 21, the Wings of Reawakening. I hope there's nothing on the left of this, because if it's the Wings of Reawakening, then I'm gonna be real sad because of the thumbnail, and because I didn't save the thumbnail. So yeah, I'm pretty lazy on Photoshop when I'm doing my thumbnails. If you haven't noticed, they're very simple. They're like nothing too special. I've watched a lot of people like do some really like big or like special like thumbnails, and it's just like, damn, that looks like a lot of work. I don't wanna. Maybe if sometimes I get a little bit of like an audience or something of the sort, I might think about making better thumbnails, so it look more attractive. But for now, it's more like a hobby kind of thing, since I'm taking it like really calmly, being really chill about it. Then yeah, I think I'm just gonna not stress myself over something that I don't need to stress over. I think that's like it's like one of the big reasons that I can just like get some sort of like burnout from streaming. Like right now, I'm just having like a lot of fun. I'm treating this like as a hobby, as something extra, as something that I just want to do. I can do it, and so I shall do it, and that's pretty much it. But if I start treating this like some sort of like work for absolutely no reason, and I start stressing myself over like just like reaching goals and stuff like that, it's just like it's gonna be a little bit too much. So I already have my stress from like day to day and being tired from like day to day kind of thing. So it's just like I don't need my hobby to become my job and then become into like a source of stress at the moment. So I'll be keeping it like that. So chapter 20, we have the image of Fu Hua, and I thought this was gonna be a special Fu Hua chapter where she's like the main character. But well, she currently is the main character, but it's not the way that I was expecting from seeing the preview from chapter 19 that they gave us, which was really good. I cannot stress how good that animation looked. I cannot stress how like excited I was for what was going on in that trailer of like Fu Hua doing a bunch of really insane like stunts, like fight against Durandal and just beating her using only her the attack of her feathers, fighting against Kevin, and after Kevin just like throws his attack, she's just like standing on the judgment of Tiamat. She's just like, oh, what did we got so cool? I mean, she was already cool, and she was like doing a bunch of like stuff until she got shot in the head. But yeah, it's like it was really good. And then she's like riding a missile. It's just like, this is, you know, for a lot of people when they think about fantasy and stuff like that, they think about like the most like ridiculous kind of things that to be able to do. And it's just like riding a missile. It's just like, God damn, that's cool. God damn, I'm jealous. I wish I could ride a missile. And then when she slams herself against the shield of Project Bunny, it's just like, oh, I just can't. And that's what I'm expecting to see on like the next chapter. And that's why I want to get to the next chapter. I want to see this like normal Fu Hua is like sort of like really calm in general. You know, for in everything that's going on, she never like goes she never reacts too hard to like anything that's going on. Even in like the visual novels, she's sort of, even in battle, she's like very calm, and it's understandable because she's been living for over 50,000 years, and she already went through her own Honkai War of the previous era, and lost battle against the Honkai. Or more like lost the war. They won battles, but they lost the war, except the last one. The last battle was lost against the final Herrscher. There was just like no way to actually be able to finish them off. Maybe if there were more people that were still alive, there were more scientists, maybe there was like more of a technological advance that the Honkai was let humanity of the previous era do. Maybe there could have been a chance, but it's just like it's a battle of attrition against the Honkai. It's just like it's an energy source. It's a disease of the world that it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, and it's just like there's like no current fix against it. It's just like, yeah, it's just like there's no fix. And so it's understandable that she can be very calm in battles, very thoughtful about things that are going on because she has this experience. But seeing this like new Fu Hua, that's like it's like just like she takes like battle very seriously, or just she has like a more of an aggressive style of battle that she's like showing in that little like preview. And yeah, I'm yapping. I know I'm yapping. I should just get started. I only have 3 stages left. Right. B. M. T. I don't think that says anything specific. 500 years ago. Death 1. Quite ominous. Because there was Moth, and I can't remember what the first couple of stages were called. And now it's Death. Alright. Kiana picked up the feather. So before there was this like lady, very pretty lady by the way, that was like helping us be able to unlock the feathers that we were finding, because some of them had some sort of like barrier that didn't allow us to actually look into the memories. And she disappeared and left the feather behind, which we just picked up. And in I mean Kiana and Bronian. And not me, I'm not there. So I don't know what to think. I still don't know what to think about like all of the things that are happening. Like right now, we're only learning about Fu Hua, but we still haven't found like the sort of like the central point of or the central like problem that is currently going on in this arc.
私たちに知ってほしいのかもしれないね。やってみる？はい。
Hmm. Light faded away. The chilly wind felt like ice cold blades. Midnight. Mount Taichuan was exceedingly quiet during these hours. The celestial empiric continued her slow walk.
あれ？ブローニャたちの体が思い出の中に反映されています。なんで？今までは見ることしかできなかったのに。
Yeah.
違います、キアナ。忘れたんですか？昔、委員長が羽を使ってブローニャたちと会話した時もこういった状況でした。まさか。
Kina looked around and saw Fu Hua on the mountain trail. She called out to her, but Fu Hua seemed oblivious.
聞こえないみたい。
Which feather in specific? Can't remember a feather that was like this.
ついていきましょう。
スイ、どうしてあなたがここに？他のみんなは？
師匠。
Shin Sui. The girl's ephemeral shade flickered. Her hesitation was obvious.
師匠のことが心配だったからでしょ。
Su Mei. Another person suddenly appeared beside Fu Hua and her youngest disciple, Sui. She was Su Mei, the second disciple of the Phoenix. I can't remember exactly who Su Mei. So I can be like really. One of the most difficult things for me are like remembering names and being able to just like connect names with people in specific, and it's especially hard with foreign names, like all the new characters, the seven blades. Unless I have like a very, very, very visual trait that I have of like the character, and I connect the name to like that trait. For example, Jiang Xing, I connected to like the only male blade, and I think Su Mei might be the redhead. Can't remember.
師匠が山を降りてから彼女は毎日ここで待ってたわ。そうよね。
But I can't remember who Sui is.
師匠、もう遅いし、まずは院に戻りましょう。
I should look it up. I think I am gonna look it up just so that I'm not lost. Honkai Impact. Third. 7 swords. The 7 disciples of Fu Hua. Lin Xiaoyu. Sumei. Sumei is indeed the red-headed blade, or like sword, that is apparently married to Yan Qing. Oh, he's called Ma Fei as well as Yan Qing. Ma Fei Ma. Because he changes his name. I think because he gets married. I think that was the reason that he changes his name. Or because he hates his name. It was something of the sort. And that's why he has like a different name. Like he's called like Fei Ma. Jin Suyi. That's the one that's talking right now, right? Jin Suyi. And she's the mother of Li Suishan. Alright. Here we go. Maybe if the visual novel, if they completed the visual novel and I read it from like start to finish, I'd be able to actually learn all of their names. But because it's like such a short period of time, I was actually like learning about them. Yeah, I'm just like losing. I don't have like a very good memory about just like trying to remember their names. The phoenix followed Sumei up the mountain. and left Shinsuyi on her own. She was I think in another one of the memories it was mentioned that she was the only one that was not like sort of like okay, or she was like she wanted to tell the Phoenix, she wanted to tell Fu Hua that they were planning to kill her. Shinsuyi suddenly turned around and faced Kiana and Bronya. Shinsuyi sighed. The shadowy apparition suddenly transformed into a beast that launched at Kiana. Ebon style, the dark rod of phantasm. There we go. No, I missed it. There we go. This is the memory of the death of this seems to be like the memory of the death of Fu Hua when she was a celestial, when she was betrayed by the her 7 blades. And as for the anomaly, they are all actually walking through the memory. The memory can interact with them, and they can be attacked by the memory. This is also very similar to the worlds on the Sea of Quanta, the trials that Welt pushed upon Bronya. Jiang Wan Qi and Jano Wan Ru. I am very sorry if I'm butchering their names. I'm trying my hardest. I mean, no offense when I'm trying to like pronounce their names. Because of their name, and this, I think these girls are the twins that show up in the manga. They do not show up in the visual novel, though. Kill her. The fourth disciple of Taishuan looked at her twin elder sister and smiled. If I remember correctly, a lot of the reasons. Oh. If I remember correctly, like a lot of the reasonings. One of the big reasonings that they were giving themselves for killing Fu Hua was this sense of like paranoia that they were having, of thinking that it's just like, it's what I mentioned before of Fu Hua just being very, very ruthless whenever she was killing the corrupted. That whole like ruling that she had of no mercy for the corrupted. And the way that she acted, it was like it was just a very, very, very cold act that she had, and they were like very, very scared of something specific. I can't remember what it was that the blades were very, very scared of. I think they were just very scared of if something ever happened to them, that they would get killed by the Phoenix. Ying Chuan. She's the one that ended up fighting with Janqing or Ma Fema in right at the end of the visual novel, where the visual novel stopped. I remember correctly.
来たのね。
すまない。お前たちはここで止まることになる。
The only male blade. Or sword. I keep calling them blades. Sume, the second disciple, and Ma Yanqing, the sixth, stood guard before the Fog Mountain Temple. I can't. Now that I know both of the names, I'm just like swapping them over and over again.
あんたたちは運命を変えたい。私たちだってそうよ。
You seek to foil the machinations of fate.
可能であれば、俺たちだって戦いたくなかった。
始めましょう。
It still feels really bad to not have just like the full visual novel to know what's going on.
よく見てなさい。これが無双よ。
Couldn't do the dodge in that attack. Does this work? It does work. What is Kiana's QTE? It's not Time Fracture. Should be good enough. There we go. I am missing critical information here. I am 100% missing critical information. That was probably supposed to be included in the visual novel. Oh, man. Receiving a call. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. Just gonna get myself comfy in my seat. Now continue. I was saying that it feels like I'm missing so much information that they wanted us to know through like the visual novel of the things that happened to Fu Hua, because we don't really get much information about her life as the Celestial Imperia and her taking care of the blades. From these feathers, like this chapter. I'm gonna just calibrate first because it's probably a mess because I was carrying the phone. Just a second. Okay, looks good. Yeah, it's like that certain period of time where she was taking care of the kids is just like a big question mark in the story of like Fu Hua, because I think their entire plan was to show us the entirety of that arc through the visual novel, but the visual novel is now incomplete forever, and so we're just like completely missing all that story, and I hate it. I hate it. I completely hate it. I really wish they just go back and actually just like give us the story. And this is what I was thinking the other day. I was just like, if they, because of my friend told me about how he'd like to have like a full like anime, like multiple seasons for Honkai Impact, or at the very least like the part 1. Is that if possible, if something like that happened, then they could include like an entire like maybe like 6 episodes or something of the sort for like Fu Hua, and have it be the story that they never could tell of the blades, the swords, 7 swords, the Celestial Imperia. Because I mean, there's like, what chapter is this one? This one's 11. There's 2 more after this, and there's like absolutely no way that they can fit the entirety of that story arc, the entirety of the stuff that we're missing in those 2 chapters, unless they're insanely long. But this already feels like it's gonna end, like at this stage, so it had to be on the next 2 stages. Kian and Bronya approached Fog Mount Temple.
委員長の弟子たち、退去七件。500年前、彼女たちが委員長を殺した。彼女たちから委員長に対する憎しみをブローニャは感じません。
Yeah, none of them say that they're actually like that they hate her, because it seems like she took care of them well, but they're still paranoid. They still fear something, and I can't remember. If they actually mentioned. I know they mentioned fear and paranoia, and they also mention it like a couple of times, like when we're like talking to them and walking up like the hill. But I still can't remember what it is exactly, if it is mentioned.
あるよ。かなり希薄だけど憎しみを感じる。でも私が間違えてたかもしれない。あの憎しみの相手は私たちでも委員長でもなく、むしろ彼女たち自身を憎んでるように感じる。
I think they hate themselves.
キアナ、委員長の弟子は7人いるんですよね。でもさっき現れたのは6人。
Shin Suyi, Sumei, Jianqing, Ma Jianqing, the twins, missing one. Her name's complicated. Jing Chuan? I think that's the 6th. What am I missing? Convenient that you started streaming late. Very much so. Very much so, Aaron. How's it going, dude?
あと1人、この普通運院にいるのかもね。
You're busy tormenting your siblings. Wow, but a terrible sibling you are. Are you the oldest or the youngest?
心の準備を。
two girls open the door. And the stage ends. Kitty, one more chin rubs? How much chin rub?
私たち戻ったの？
Go pretends to casually greet me, but inside he's like, oh my god, Eren, yeah! Misses me so much, I'm the best. Whatever you say, Dad, whatever you say.
何があったの？あの屋敷に。
I'm just tired from running around the entire city to go to like the doctor's appointment that I had. And just dealing with traffic. I hate traffic.
ブローニャの視界は真っ暗になって気づいたらここに戻っていました。おかしい、おかしすぎるよ。何なのこの羽。
Alright, enough rubbing the kitty.
残した人に聞くしかありませんね。
Head deeper into Mount Taichuan and finally saw you. Is it her? My sister just approached the bathroom and as she asked who's in there, I banged the door and jump scared her. Wow, truly an evil brother. By the way, I can 100% not understand that the whole deal with like siblings and stuff like that because I'm a single son. I like how anytime I'm late, nobody else joins the stream. They know I'm the #1 chatter and they can't join till I arrive. Ah, sure, dude. It's totally not because you're the only one that's joining in. You're my singular special chatter. Maybe I'm just kicking everybody else out and I'm just letting you just like keep the spot. Ever thought about that? Maybe the entirety of your achievements in this chat are just like completely fabricated by me in order for you to stay and never leave. You can never escape from here. She'd be crying sometimes, but it's an overreaction because my girl side, because the girl side of my family are super spoiled and they just cry anytime something convenient. Oh, is she like a baby sister? Like a very, very, very small sister? It's just a win for me because it means someone likes me. Copium? It's stun. Stun is the Kiana QT. No, she's 8, but she cries so you even talk to her when she's watching YouTube. Ah, I see. It does indeed sound a bit like she's spoiled. You know? Okay. Come here. Come. Like, Kitty wants me to actually just like give her attention, but the moment that I want to give her attention, she's just like standing exactly at arm's length. I can't reach her. Well, I can barely reach her with the tip of my fingers. Get closer so I can just like give you love. Come. You don't want to? Okay. She meowed at me when I tried to pick her up, so I'm guessing that she doesn't actually want me to pick her up. She couldn't spell the YouTuber's name and I said I'll turn it on for you. And I turned on 3 hours of Parsons and blasted it on 100 volume. And no wonder what of your siblings.
この羽、封印がかかってる。はい。でも少し違う気がします。 今まで触れた羽と違います。やってみますか、それとも。
やってみるよ。
蝶羽、
Hmm. The phoenix called to her
こ
disciple.
れから南海に行きます。あなたも一緒ですので、荷物をまとめておいてください。
わかりました、師匠。南海にまた妖獣が現れたんですか。
Though the phoenix heard her words, she walked off without turning back.
心あらずですね。どうしましたか。
南海は遠いです。こんなに長くここを離れて、みんなは。
I didn't saw you, didn't saw you. Good thing I still have this open. She's the first disciple. Oh, it's her. That's right. I remember seeing her. She's very unique in her like design. The first and oldest of the 7 disciples, she started following and serving Fu Hua at age 6, and officially became her disciple at age 18. She's the leader of the school of Taichuan, one of the 6 great schools of martial arts. She is married. Oh, wait. She's the one that's married to Yanqing, not Sume. Has no children. After the burning of the original schools, Zhao Yu decided not to let the school created by her master die by their hands, so she rebuilt the school and accepted around 200 students. She's almost always kind and caring, except when you touch the topic of Sume, the second disciple, on the topic of her master's death. She's conflicted about killing her master, but does not regret it. Started blasting Jujutsu Kaisen OP that turned into a meme. Then my 13-year-old sister got butthurt because I was messing with her YouTube. I mean, you're just getting overpowered there, and it's nothing that you can do. It's 2 against 1. You'll never be able to win. You need to use some guerrilla tactics.
数名がいます。心配ありません。
彼女はただ他のみんなよりも早く弟子になっただけで、まだまだ子供ですよ。
She ended up getting put in a war for a little, then medicated, and the first thing she did was flex it to her friends. My little sister is just that attention seeker stereotype.
元凶もまだ幼いし、水の病気もまだ治ってませんし、遠慮だって。
I don't want to get political, but it gets political. Nice job, dude. The phoenix stopped and turned around.
行きたくないのですか。
私は行きます。南海に着いたら、両親の墓参りに行きたいです。
So apparently my cat decided that she does want to get rubbies, so it's just now under me and monopolizing my left hand. I hope I don't have to fight anything soon.
ええ。
師匠、南海に一体何があったんですか。
何もありませんよ。
The phoenix was cold.
あなたと同じ。私も友の墓参りをしに行きます。
Inside, you left the shop with her substantial purchases.
何を買ったんですか。
墓参りの供物と元凶にあげる木の人形、水に字を教えるための本、あと遠慮へのおしろい。
Inside, you counted her purchases. Aaron, let me give you a little tip. If you do want to keep friendships, one of the best things to do is never talk about religion or politics. Those are killers for friendships. or play Mario Party, and sometimes not even playing Mario Kart. Those are friendship killers. 100%.
数名へのお土産。それから、これは師匠へのものです。
Didn't Sayo give her a strange cloth-wrapped package? The phoenix felt its weight and hardly gave a response. Because the problem with things like this, is that if you just go too far into like the little like discussions, there's times where you will find spots where you're just gonna like have some sort of like conflict, and that conflict can just like lead to like not like becoming enemies or stop becoming friends. In political to say it's about them. Yeah, I mean that's like a. Mm, it's just the fact that at the end of the day, it's politics. Like if we were like sort of like talking about people being, if you were trying to like more of like generalize the idea of just like people being bad against LGBT, I seriously cannot remember the letters, but uh LGBTQ plus, I think it is, people, then of course it's terrible. I know, but there's nothing about the talk that we would butt heads on. That's why I mentioned it. Yeah, I mean, I am very much against it. I know exactly what you're talking about, by the way. But and yeah, I'm very much like against all those kind of things. I'm kind of happy that it doesn't include things. It doesn't affect my everyday life because I don't live in that country. Yep, I know everything about it.
この村を覚えてます。数年前、師匠が私を大巨山に連れ戻したとき、一度ここで泊まりました。そうでした？
Fu Hua can remember everything, so she already eliminated. Is this the source of their fear? Is is the fact of them thinking that maybe, what you call it, they'll like get forgotten completely, or that they'll become like her enemies because she forgets who they are? Is that the source of their fear? The phoenix looked at the hanging lanterns.
忘れました。
Only mention it because it's starting to warm me. I basically have strictly LGBTQ. Thank you for saying it because or you said it a little bit earlier, but I seriously always remember which ones are the letters that are supposed to be included in it. LGBTQ plus friends. So this very much affects my life. Yeah. I guess I guess at this point it's just like you have some like trust in humanity. Just a little bit of humanity. There's like very bad people, but there's probably way more people that actually want to do the good thing. And well, we can hope that everything will go well. Like if I am to throw one thing into this sort of like topic, because I'm not a fan of like LGBTQIA plus right now, but the IA is in you can see LGBTQ. Thanks for telling me. Mm, uh, apparently he's not winning polls. He's not winning polls, and he's not winning the. He's not as popular as people may think. It's just the fact that everybody has to vote. Of course, if you don't vote or anything of the sort, then it's of course going to go back because you're just like putting a handicap on the people that should be winning and stuff like that. But it's like I don't really want to go too deep into this like topic because again, it's the topic of politics, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that sort of like come and they don't really want to think about politics that much, especially when playing like video games. Unless it's Helldivers, because you gotta think of democracy. What's that fucking? what's that pun that they talk about? Oh, do you want a cup of liberty? I really like that one. I hope in the news. It's not about butting heads. It's just like the topic. People don't want to think about this sort of like topic whenever they're like playing video games, which is why no video game really does have like that sort of like topic very very much inside of like their like. Well, I mean, there's some games that do have some sort of like politics inside of it, as a meme or as like an idea. For example, like Wolfenstein. But in Wolfenstein, you're just killing Nazis. So, so yeah.
すみません、師匠。海に出てくれる船はこれだけです。ここで一晩泊まることになります。
Like for example, whenever I like look up things about politics and stuff like that, I only do it on like my free time because any other time is just like my own like me time. And it's only very rare that I look up about things about this. It's just like I learn about the news just to keep myself like informed, but everything else it's like I keep it sort of like away because I don't want to stress myself or this kind of stuff. Yeah, I get the idea. You're probably the idea is just like it's stressing you out. It's worrying you.
構いません。ありがとうございます。どうして礼を
I get you, Aaron.
私を両親の墓参りに連れて行ってくださったからです。長雨、私の目的地も同じ場所です。
In saw you found the place where her people were buried, laid out the offerings, and paid her respects. The phoenix looked on in silence. Bean stood up, wiped away her tears, and gave an awkward smile.
すみません、師匠。時間を取らせましたね。いいえ、大丈夫です。師匠の友人のお墓はどこでしょうか。供物を置いてきます。
The phoenix shook her head. She walked along the cliff's edge and gazed at the bottomless abyss.
今は宮殿に登り、白は窮地に落ちる。それが信州の古い習わしです。しかし私は知ってます。死んだ後に魂魄はもうありません。
Oh, you got an upgrade for your Ella.
戻ってきません。師匠の友人も旧友のものですか。いいえ、旧友は死友の復活を願っていて、私の友人は邪獣を倒すことしか考えていませんでした。
It was 240,
彼女たちは同族ではなく、敵同士でした。
280, 313 K. Because of supports, my artifacts are the same. Ah.
死友は天地神器が集まって生まれた幼獣です。それが誕生したとき、南海は破壊され、私が戻る前に、彼女たちは死友と戦い、死にました。約20年前、旧友の者は再び邪術で死友を復活させようとしたため、私はそれを止めるためにここに来ました。
I also hit 446,000 yesterday because someone's Furina buffed me by accident. By accident!
長雨、あなたの両親は私のせいで死にました。私が憎いですか？
Your parents died because of me. So her parents were part of the people that wanted to revive or resurrect Shio?
私の両親は妖魔になったんですよね。
と、両親にとって死は最良の結末です。
ええ。
The Phoenix unwrapped her package and revealed a lifelike clay figurine. The Phoenix looked at the clay figurine for a while before letting it fall into the dark abyss.
これでいいのです。行きましょう。
The two said nothing during their return trip. Insayu broke the silence after stepping off the boat.
妖魔になった者は本当に助からないのでしょうか。みんな悪い人じゃないです。自分の意志で妖魔になったわけでもありません。
That
ど
is
う
the
し
true
てこんな
question.
ひどい目に遭わないといけないんですか。
Why is the Honkai doing this? The Phoenix did not reply.
4番弟子。縁女も悪いことをしてません。もし彼女が妖魔になったら、私たちは。
長羽、この件に関してはどうしようもありません。
Insayu gritted her teeth. The obedient disciples mustered all her courage to utter the blasphemous words.
師匠、縁女を見逃してもらえませんか。
彼女はもう手遅れです。長羽。
This is the reason. This is the why. I was like, get your point about not talking about politics, but I wouldn't be friends with an American I politically disagree with and mostly talk to Americans. Yeah, I get it. It's just like, I got like the idea of what to mention. Like the reasoning is just like politics are most of the time sort of like bringing in some sort of like negativity into the talk, or like it's a well, not like they bring like negativity. It's just like it's depressing. The idea of how things are just like going badly in a lot of places in the world because of politics. It can be American, can be Indian, can be any other places. And well, nobody wants to be reminded of that while they're just like chilling out and like playing a game or something of the sort. Usually, people just like play the games or like watch streams in order to just like completely forget about those sort of like ideas that are coming from like the from like other places. And that's kind of like the idea of I have. It's just like even though it is important to be informed about this kind of things, just like nobody comes to like a stream or nobody goes and plays a game in order to be reminded of the things that are happening in real life, the bad things that are happening in real life that might affect them in their life. Just looking for something positive to get their minds off it. That's pretty much it. But I don't know about other places, but I mean, well, you'd be correct in the fact that I don't disagree with you. I don't believe in anything I cannot physically observe with my eyes. I just hold the opinion to leave people the fuck alone. I getcha, I getcha. The Phoenix said nothing more. Sayo remembered the very words she herself uttered at the South Seas. Death is the best way to end this.
林長雲、彼女も委員長の弟子だったんだね。
I get it, but I'm not trying to be negative. I'm talking about it just like you said. Doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect you. I probably would be glad if you were like worried or something since it affects me. I mean, yeah. Like, yeah, it's a negative topic, but you don't have to feel negative about it. You can just accept there's evil in it.
彼女が一番弟子、大挙七剣の中で唯一現れなかった弟子。
But here's the thing that I can tell you. I'm not on the fence about it. I'm very much on the side that everybody should be able to do whatever the hell they want, and nobody should be trying to stop things by using politics or anything of the sort. For example, even this game is started, or like the game before this one is very much rooted, and there's a lot of like Yuri in it, which is just lesbian. And I don't hate it at all. In fact, I love it. In fact, give me more. And at one point, this game was sort of like turning into like same sort of thing. But at one point, they sort of like split. And the story became more and more serious about it. And the sort of like little like Yuri kind of things are just like sprinkled here and there. Instead of just like being a little bit more like obvious. That's why I mentioned it, because people busy being constantly evil. Yes, and not playing video games. Actually, you might not forget it, but those are the kind of people that are saying that video games are actually evil in general. That violent video games make you violent, when there's like a gazillion articles and studies that show actually the complete opposite thing, where in fact kids may be getting like better or even smarter by playing video games. Of course, you have to think about the video games that they end up playing, of course. But it's like a horror, like it's like the extra thing that people sometimes like ignore. Just like when people are doing things, like you have to like when you're doing things with like children, it's just like you have to be taking care of them because children are dumb. So you have to guide them. What normal person is going to say, agree to disagree. That's why I brought it up. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever like remotely disagree with that idea that you're just with the idea that you're bringing up.
Kiana, 問題はそこじゃありません。大事なのは彼女がなぜ退去山にいるかということです。
Yeah, I knew her. The name sounded like familiar, but I couldn't remember who she was. Especially because of her look.
なぜ500年前の人間が今の退去山にいるんですか？
Maybe stuff like
ここに何があったか、なんとなく理解したかも。私たちがこの山に来てから何もかもがおかしかった。ここも委員長が見せた退去山と違うし、崩壊エネルギー濃度も異常に高い。
Kitty's back. You know.
あの羽たちも委員長の羽とは違う。それから林長雨、500年前の人間である彼女が退去山に現れて、私たちと出会って死因を探せと私たちに言ってきた。
Back for the game rule, but back to the game for real this time. I mean, yeah, the thing that you mentioned before, that arresting people just because they're going against them, is some things that have been happening in the world for in other like countries, and of course nobody agrees with that, except for the ones that are benefiting from that sort of deal, which are the bad people.
罠です。
うん。ここは本当の退去山じゃない。ここはどこなの？
It's crazy, but back to the game for real. For realsies? Just like me, for real? Look at Kiana, just like actually thinking about the entire thing that's going on right now and knowing that it's a trap. She's gotten so much smarter than before.
それに一体誰が？
Kitty going back into her bed. And who would do that to us? At the very moment, something emitted a bright glow.
林長雨が残した羽です。
Okay, I know I said I'll stop, but God, I hate him. I get you. If there's something else that I can tell you, that I used to have friends that were actually behind him. We're not friends anymore, though. We are not friends anymore, though.
もう一度言ってみよう。真相はきっとこの羽の中にある。
I haven't talked to them in like a very, very long time. Like I didn't tell them that like, oh, I hate you or something of the sort. Like, oh my god, the things that you're thinking about are absolute garbage. I just simply just decided to like stop talking to them, and it was a long time ago, like maybe 3, 4 years, maybe even 5 years. I stopped talking to them. Hmm. Sudden teleportation. Shinsui again, and on the same spot as the nightmare dream kind of thing. The girl's ephemeral shade flickered. She was obviously waiting for someone.
これはただの記憶。そうよね。私は死んだのね。私は死んだ。ねえ、どういうことか教えてくれる？私は死んだ。
Shinsui continued to mumble to herself as her shadow faded.
私、死んだんだ。攻撃してこなかったね。
この羽に変化があったみたいです。暖かくなりました。
Warmer. I think it burned down, Bronya. The twins.
死ぬべきものは最後やっぱり死んだ。
Young Wanchi sighed as her twin held onto her arm.
生きるべきものは生きている。それでいいんじゃない？
I wonder what happened to Wanru, because she was the one that was supposed to be like corrupted. And the reason why they decided to kill Fu Hua.
ありがとう。
Her words were meant for Kiana.
え？
I remember that there was like one thing that was mentioned in one of my classes, where you know how all of these things are sort of like happening, and that there's like in terms of like politics and stuff like that, like democracy is not perfect, and that hell, it isn't even like generally good, but it is the best option that we currently have in terms of like a political system that we have, where like the people can sort of like have like an opinion on the thing, on not an opinion, they can like choose something that they want. But as you can see, it's just like even then there's like some sort of like polls and things that might be able to actually just like what's the word for it? People can take advantage of the rules, and it can lead to some very, very bad things happening, like the current ones that you're talking about.
死を止めるのはたやすい。しかし、一人を生かすのはとてもとても難しい。
But I'm all tabbing. I need to know what happened to Wanru. The younger twin sister to Wanchi, around 1476, she was infected by Honkai corruption, and the other disciples' desire to protect her from Hua was one of the main catalysts to her assassination. Like her sister, Wanru was accepting of potential end, believing fate had something to do with it. She wielded the Void Arc. Her final fate is unknown in the visual novel. God damn. Missing information from the visual novel.
だから、きっとあなたはいい人なのね。
What's another like wording for it? It's It's not the best option, but it's the best thing that we have currently. Maybe something like that. Because we've seen other things like happening throughout the world and they've all failed miserably. Though half her face was corrupted by the Honkai, she gave a beautiful smile before disappearing with her twin. Hoyoverse, please finish the visual novel. Please finish the visual novel. I'm missing so much. I'm missing so much information. Oh, this one's already burned. The fifth sword of Taichuan shook her head and faded away without saying a single word. This one is Sume. Sume gazed upon the far distance.
この山を登った先、物語の終点で、あんたはあんたの欲しいものを見つけるわ。彼女はそこで待ってる。
林長のこと？
Hmm? The sixth disciple looked at Kiana.
いや、聖英のことだ。
今、師匠にも大事な人ができたわね。随分と遠回りしたけど、無駄じゃなかったわ。
She faded into the air as she finished her words. Ma Yanshin gave a slight bow.
これでいいんだ。
委員長が山の上で待ってるって。
Whenever music stops in a movie or in a video game, it's never a good sign. It's never a good sign. It's bugged. But it's the Dark Fu Hua. The person that was waiting for us at the end of the road. At the top of the mountain is the Dark Fu Hua. But it's bugged! Are all the CGs bugged? No, not all the CGs bugged. A lot of them were actually working. It's just the last two that are actually bugged. Oh, you stayed up when I'm bored just for your stream. You should be grateful. Are you saying that you need rest? Then I'm gonna tell you to actually get some rest. Because you should get some rest. 8 hours. Remember, 8 hours. You're supposed to sleep 8 hours. Immortal Phoenix came back with the young girl. Lin Xiaoyu was surprised.
彼女は特別です。
The Phoenix responded to her astonishment.
寝床を整えてあげてください。彼女に献身術を教えます。
A little drowsy, but because I'm bored, not because I'm tired. That you would get a lot more like entertained after that entire talk that you actually went through.
この子はまだ幼いですが、話すことができますし、字の読み書きもできます。
She knows how to read. This time period, knowing how to read it, isn't it supposed to be like a big deal? The Phoenix pointed at the child. The girl, however, looked towards the sky and was enthralled by something else.
彼女は特別です。
Shut up, how you're not my mama? Okay. The Phoenix repeated those words again.
あの子は先ほど寝ました。
You didn't have to say it like that.
飴をあげてやっと言うことを聞いてくれました。
ええ。
仙人は彼女を引き取るおつもりでしょうか。
I wonder if that girl's Sume.
そうかもしれません。
Because Lin Xiaoyu seems like sort of like confused. So it makes me think this might be like the first time that this happens. With her being, well, there. The okay, sounded so disappointed. Okay, fine, you can be my mother. I'm not sure I want to be your mother. I ain't giving you any money. And I'm kicking you out of the house when you're 18 years old. Lin Sayo glanced outside the door and asked softly. And I'm gonna ask for 70% of your earnings because I'm your mother. And I deserve it. Lin Sayo knew that what the word meant. Make teenager gestures. I ain't leaving, then I'm kicking you out. See you later. I'll be expecting my paycheck next week. And if you don't give me anything, then I'll see you in court.
あの子、覚えるのが早いですね。3ヶ月で謙信は止水まで来てます。
だから彼女は特別だと言いました。
They'll kidnap you and put you in a closet until you stop kicking me out. I'll take that as a threat. I'm calling the cops. I'll see you in court again.
2年近くかかった私はかなり不器用ですね。
始めたのが遅すぎました。私もきちんと教えてませんでしたし。
I guess since she was like the first disciple and like it did said that she became a disciple at the age of 18. She's very, very late.
仙人、ずっとあの子って呼ぶのもなんですし、
あなたの名前はどうつけられたんですか?
Lin Sayo did not expect this question. She lowered her head after a brief silence.
父が秀才に頼んで、司教から朝に制すれば、数兆、それ、雨降る。
It's a pretty name. The morning rain, the bringer of rainbows.
こうしましょう。司教を買ってきてください。
I ain't paying no scholar. I'm naming her myself. Immortal Phoenix ordered Lin Sayo to bring the girl to Taichuan Temple.
彼女の名字はあなたと同じリンにしましょうか。
それは
名字ならある。
The girl suddenly spoke.
スー。母さんの名字はスーだから。
She is Sumei.
名前は？
名前は父さんがつけたけど、もう捨てたの。
The phoenix flipped open the book of odes and came to the air of Qin, reached by the river. If you take me to court, I will AI alter videos of you beating me and get you arrested for 500 million years. Yeah, I'll wait for you to actually screw up and what does the AI say? As an AI something something model?
いわゆるかの人、水のほとりにあり。ほとりという字はどうでしょう?
I keep remembering of like kids trying to use the an AI to actually do like their essays and stuff like that, but they keep the things that the AI says like a normally I think that's like an AI something something model and they keep it like on the essay and they get an immediate 0. It's like Jesus. You could try a little bit harder. You could at the very least delete that.
どういう意味?
ほとりは水際という意味です。
水際?
The girl thought about the word for a while.
つまり、岸でも水でもない、どちらにもなれないってことよね。
This suddenly turned very deep.
気に入らないですか? 別のページにしますね。
いい。それで。
The girl glanced at the phoenix. She then walked towards Lin Sayu and bowed deeply. I'll fabricate an AI video and I'll patch up the extra 5 hands. But you'll still forget about all of the hair just like suddenly mixing into like the background and stuff like that, you'll screw up one of these days, and then I'll win. Yin Sayo did not know how to respond, but the Imperial closed the Book of Oaths and looked as cold as ever.
その数名、まずは仙人に礼をするべきですよ。これから仙人が親代わりになるんですから。
The girl stood up and exclaimed,
母の仇、忘れるはずがない。仙人に感謝してるけど、親だと認めるわけにはいかない。私を追い払ってもいいし、追い払わないなら奴隷となりご恩を返すわ。
I mean, that's a fair way of thinking. You can't expect her to actually just like think highly of Fu Hua after killing her parents. The young girl's words rang as loud as steel. Lin Xiaoyu did not expect her to act this way. My throat burned so bad, I have been screaming all day. To your siblings?
追い払うつもりも奴隷にするつもりもありません。あなたには武術を教えてあげます。
What are you doing to your poor siblings? Screaming at them until your throat hurts.
私を親だと思うかどうかは重要ではありません。
The Phoenix closed her eyes and said nothing more. The girl stood there frowning while Lin remained silent.
仙人は母の仇、親として認められない。しかし仙人には命を助けられ、武術を教わるという恩がある。
Fu Hua did say that she's special. She knows that she killed her parents and hates her for it, but because she's taking care of Sume, because Fu Hua is taking care of Sume, she's willing to repay Fu Hua for her kindness.
仙人との関係はちゃんとした名前があった方がいいでしょ。
I've been screaming at my little sister for fun.
数名は仙人を師とし、そばにいることを誓おう。
You have a very strange meaning for like fun. Sume then knelt and prostrated herself before the phoenix. Insayo looked displeased as though something bothered her deeply. The phoenix knew the reason and called her name.
蝶羽、
はい、師匠。
あなたも来なさい。
ララララララ。
何を歌ってるんですか？
知らん。適当や。
The usual. The girl pulled a face.
もうすぐ休みやで。
This is right before the Honkai event, or like very, very close to the Honkai event.
はい。
First she cried because they ruined her bed. All I did was toss plushies at her that weren't even organized. Then when I fixed them back, she claimed I messed them up. They weren't even organized. Like, dude, bruh. Or maybe you suck at organizing, huh? Maybe you don't understand your sister enough. Maybe she has like a special code with the plushies and you just ruined it all. The plushies, Mason. The plushies, Aaron. What do they mean?
お家に帰るん？
はい。近頃父さんの体があまり良くなくて、帰って父さんの世話をしたいです。
I wonder if Fu Hua's dad was actually getting slowly infected by Honkai, and that's why he hasn't been feeling well. Like this is supposed to be like a semester after he heard like he was like wounded by the zombie, and she left home. So I wonder if like slowly but surely his dad was just like slowly getting more and more corrupted by Honkai and was turning like into a zombie. It's more annoying because I've always been careful not to make sure I put like her small things up when I find them, or if she leaves something somewhere she may not find it. I always put it back and stuff because I don't want her to lose her things because I know she cares about them. Aww, look at this nice brother that screams at her sister.
なあ、うちのパパとママが許可してくれたら、うちも行って。
来たいんですか？
うん。 まだ行ったことないやろ。道場はまだあるん？うちに武術を教えてくれへん？
Of course, he wants to learn kung fu. Did she cry acting like I ruined them when they weren't ruined? Mm. Well, I guess that's like one of the things that I can say. It's just like that's like one of the reasons I don't really like little kids, or at the very least the ones in real life, because they're not sweet. They're spoiled and they can be very, very annoying to deal with.
少し遅かったですね。道場
Oh,
は先月売却したそうです。
which is probably why I'm happy that I'm a single kid. I'm a lone child. She laid on the grass with great disappointment. Like if your girlfriend said you hated her because you put her to too many times and she got mad, or your mom saying you hate her because you didn't take out the trash. Like, bro, it's one annoying encounter. Maybe not hating me, but maybe screaming at me saying I'm the only one that's doing things around in this house and nobody helps me. The classic.
道場を継ぐと思うとったのに。
どうしてですか？
かん。あんたならそうするって思った。
Her instinct. And she did become a master at one point in time. Just like around 45,000 years? No. Around 49,000 years after all this happened. She did become a master of the dojo. The edge of Taichuan, or like the blade of Taichuan. And she couldn't help but laugh when I started blasting parts too, acting like she's all upset and shit.
フワはなんか夢あるん？いつも夢はないって感じやから。
夢ですか？
Will was at a loss of words.
ほれ、せやから道場を継ぐと思ってん。フワは言われた通りにするタイプやもん。フワ、この道にしようって言われたらそうするタイプやもん。フワの人生やのに。うちはな、将来絶対に青海市にいないと思うねん。
And she's probably gonna say that she also doesn't want to join the military like her parents. The girl sighed and started talking to herself.
ここにいずにやねん。もう麻痺しとるもん。わかる？ここの思い出が多すぎる。どこもかしこも。橋を渡れば誰と行ったんか思い出す。店を通れば何を買ったんか思い出すねん。青海市はうちの思い出だらけや。町中釣り針だらけでうちという魚を釣ろうとしとる。イメージ湧くやろ？思い出が溢れるほど多いねん。
思い出が多いのはいいことじゃないですか。
Whenever she said these words, they weren't supposed to be this like meaningful in her life, but now that everything that happened to her life, it's just like it hits harder.
そう思う人もいるかもやけど、うちは嫌や。とにかく詳細はまだ決まっとらんけど、うちは青海市を出るで。パパやママみたいにいろんな国に行ってみたいねん。
You know, they say that fart sounds never get old. I guess that's what happens with your like with your sister. Every new generation of kids that is born, and fart sounds will never get old for them. They will always be funny to them.
サクソフォン吹いて、ピアノ吹いて、バレエ踊ってみたいねん。
バレエを？
バレエはやめようか。
Two girls laughed at each other.
私も故郷に残らないと思います。青海市にも残らないかもしれません。将来何をするかはまだ考えていません。正直に言うと、ついさっきまで考えたこともありませんでした。私は本当に夢がないのかもしれませんね。
The girl noticed the disappointment in Hua's voice.
まあまあ、気にすることはないで。夢は必需品やないし、金にもならん。あったらちゃんと叶える。なかったらいつか思いつくね。うちらはまだまだ若いし。
うん。
はい。でも私にとってどこに行ったとしても思い出は大事な大事な宝物です。ずっと覚えていたいと思います。
And yet she's the only one that doesn't have any other choice other than throwing them away. Because it brings her harm. You know where you're young and you're just young. You're talking about things and you think that those things that you're saying are not gonna matter in your life, and suddenly you just remember back on them and they were like more important than you had ever thought. It's like even worse for like Fu Hua, since she has lived over 50,000 years. She cares so much for her memories and the memories that she has made with her friend. But due to all the things that are happening, memories are now become something that actually hurt her, and she needs to throw them away. And some of the memories that she needs to throw away are the ones that she had of her happiness, of her time when she was just like a normal girl. No regrets, no growth. And now, chapter 22 has been unlocked. But just to like look at it, the thumbnail. But it's time for chapter 21, Wings of Reawakening. Length 13, double movie at the end, and loads of this like little like small scenes in the middle. Right, so my objective, let's look at the time. 12. If it's about like the same length as chapter 20, then I'll probably be able to reach up to this point. But if it's shorter, I might be able to actually finish it, which would be nice, because then that means that tomorrow I'll be able to do chapter 22. T. Why do they name it T? This episode presents the back-to-life experience of a curious figure and later developments. New life. God damn! I really like this look of hers. The look of like the dark Fu Hua. Like before, like some of like the designs that Fu Hua has for some for battle suits are sort of like what's the word for it? They're sort of like simple. Well, my sister, who you'd think would grow up by 13, exaggerated and lied to my mom because she didn't get her way. She's not used to people not just obeying her to make her shut up. Well, that is a mark of a spoiled little sister. That is indeed a mark of a spoiled little sister. I did have to give it a little bit of an emphasis by saying it twice. Not a kiss as though I told my mom about and told her she should know by now, considering her little diagnosis and medication that she's mentally ill. She just goes crazy anytime she wants.
便利だねこれ。
Chris, anytime she doesn't get her way, I have to give this dialogue every time she does. Am I getting attacked again? In the middle of a cutscene? While exchanging emergency commands through the comlinks, the Valkyries rush to the burned half of the air terminal. I really like her look. They passed by her, but no one paid her any heed, as if she didn't exist. She was toying with a crimson bloom. She took this from Otto Apocalypse's cold body.
これをオットーに渡したなんて理解に苦しむ。
Every time she makes it seem like I'm doing Vitalis and the younger one, I'm destroying the entire house so she can make it seem like I'm the issue when in reality she's just unstable. Search your memory. An inner voice suggested... Oh, the inner voice is still here. An inner voice suggested so.
いや、記憶が多すぎるから、こういう細かなことは放置していい。
She denies my command! And can't take it when someone doesn't immediately just suck up to her. They think she owns shit or something. Kids to be kids.
余裕ができたら、またゆっくりとこの5万年の過去を消化するよ。
Like I said before, I'm glad I'm an only child. There's people that a lot of people that often tell to me that just like, you're missing out on like not having siblings and stuff like that. But I think I'm very much fine because I think the issue might be because it's just like a lot of people that often say this kind of things. It's just that maybe they're more of like introverts. They like the companionship of people and stuff like that. They always want to have somebody like next to them or somebody to like talk about. But I'm not like that. I'm more of like a loner. Never since like in elementary school, I've been like very much fine with just like being by myself. I can be 100% fine by myself. So being an only child was like a blessing for me. She chuckled as she admired her work. In the distance, fire and smoke had consumed half of the air terminal. Not happy?
まさか、戦果としては十分だ。
She took a deep bow at all the chaos and explosions. The applauding audience of her debut show.
天命とオットーさえ存在しなければ、こんなに厄介にならなかったし、この世界ももっと平和だったはず。あのバルキリーたちがかわいそう。よく考えれば、彼女たちは結局オットーの駒でしかなかった。
She killed Valkyries? Or is she talking about Otto just like using them as pawns and killing them or letting them die? But I would have a brother, but he passed in early 2021. Sorry to hear that. And don't feel bad because I didn't really get to meet him since it happened so early. A lot of casualties.
うまくコントロールできた。檻といくつかの建物だけ壊して。くそうまくコントロールできてなかったのか。
Curious, this is another like case of like a mistranslation where she's talking about, oh, I controlled it pretty well, and it's just like, I didn't actually control it that well. I feel like it would be better, you know, it's like this past, you know, I'm not taking for granted or whatever, but he went back to being an ass in a few weeks. So people are, I guess, but it isn't bothering me. I can get the idea.
誰だって全てを考慮できないでしょう。誰も。あのメイ博士だって。
There's some people that actually take it really bad with this sort of like topics, but it's just like, I'm an only child, I'm a loner, and I didn't have a dad my entire life, so it's just like, and I don't look anything up, and I really don't care about my biological dad. And my mom is, and I tell my mom that she's free to do like whatever she wants in her life. If she wants to find someone else, it's just like, she can do so. I have no problem about it. Just curious how someone can be such a bad person, I guess. It really is curious how people can just be really, really bad people. What pushes them to actually do that? think everything through. Intense way reflecting on no one, not even Dr. May.
彼女だって多くの人々を犠牲にした。そうでしょ？勝利と正義には犠牲が必要だ。もういい。自分に言い聞かせても仕方ない。とりあえず早く空港を出ないと。
Where to go?
まだわからない。世界は広いし、どこにでも行けるけど、特に行きたい場所はない。旧友たちに会いに行くかもしれない。私が生きてると知ったら、きっと驚くでしょう。
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's like the feather Fu Hua that everybody has been seeing, but seeing her in her like actual physical body, it's like would be a big surprise. Maybe your dad cabo? No, thank you. Did your dad leave or what happened? I actually have no idea. Never really asked about it. It's just like it never really like mattered to me in like my entire life. It didn't become like a source of depression. It didn't become a source of like anxiety. It didn't become a source of like curiosity. That's pretty much it. Oh, I guess I can say that he was never like here in general, like since like age 0 or age minus 9 months, like now. So yeah. A smile crept up her lips.
崩壊はまだ消えていない。のんびりできる日々もそう多くはない。しかし今は出たとこ勝負かな。
This Fu Hua feels very, very different. Like I mentioned before in like the no thank you. Yeah. I'll pass. I've been fine without a dad up to this point. I don't even need like a daddy. Maybe a sugar daddy. Those ones can actually give me something that I can use, like money. The curious thing about this Fu Hua is that she's like way more aggressive, as she was showing in the little like preview. Her voice is like on a higher pitch as well. It's a different voice that she's than normal Fu Hua, and she seems like more carefree rather than the one that is like very duty bound. I'll have it for you. The benefit of not having an associated that, and also not the depression of facing on that. Yeah, I'm very much fine in a loads of ways. Yes. I wonder if this is the same one as before. Oh, Rita. Hello.
誰も気づいていない。これは本当に便利だ。
I really wanted to try and block her. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is different. 1, 2, 3. It does this. Can I tap it? I can do something with it. Maybe you need a daddy. Sugar daddy. Don't mince my words. Right, I forgot. Progress, control, assist, other settings. Other settings? System settings? This one. Probably get this down to like 70. And if there's a good song, I'll just like make it louder. CG has to be loud. Oh, that on accident. Get this one like 70 maybe. I don't have any elves. Sound effects at 65. I think I'll keep it like this. Right. 1, 2, 3. She's kind of fun because she just unlocks the enemies anyways, and she can also like do the combo at any point in time. So I should use my weapon skill. I could probably just spam this attack and take like no damage. But this enemy is really annoying.
今回は文句ないでしょ。全員見逃したし、誰一人殺してない。
その優しさをもう少し早く覚えてほしかった。
Ah, my love, he's back. I knew he wasn't dead. There was no way that you can kill this man. Ah, how I miss you, Otto Apocalypse, and your blonde and beautiful hair. I hope someday I get told I'd make a good dad, like the biggest I want you ever. I'll take a pass. I don't want kids. At the very least, not currently. I'll take a hard pass on that. I don't even want to get that compliment. Otto. Yeah. Look at the way that he's just like saying this. Ah, I'm melting in my seat.
まあ、あなたみたいなやつがそう簡単に死ぬわけないか。
Of course.
ああ、僕は確かに死んだよ。ただ、予備用の体は別の場所にあってね。
I didn't store all my backups at the same place. So, yeah, because I'm totally capable of getting you pregnant. Like how you said, I'll pass. Like also offering you to say it. Thank you for the invitation, but I'll completely pass. Don't worry about it. Just like say it to the next person over. Maybe that person will ask you to say yes. He pouted his lips to signal the ruins place in the distance, where hundreds of his backup bodies were kept. Yeah, so even though she knew what she was doing, she also knew that he actually had a bunch of like backup bodies. And he did try to kill him by killing the body that he was currently in, and then killing the backup bodies before he could get into them. But I mean, then where does he keep his conscience? Because in a lot of like this sort of like movies or games or like stories where somebody can have like multiple bodies, their like consciousness is like kept somewhere. A computer, or some sort of like memory. It's like an item or something of the sort. But right now, it doesn't seem like Otto really has that. Like his bodies can like house his consciousness, but where is his like consciousness housed at the moment? If he were to lose all his backups, it's just like, is that really just like the end?
ならもう一度殺せばいい。天命を半分壊してもあなたを殺せないなら、次は全部壊せばいい。
Fine, I'll kill you if I destroyed half of the airbase. Didn't end up killing you, then I'll just destroy the entirety of it next time.
待った。
The Schicksal Overseer took a step back.
まさか怖いの？私を撃った時、今日のような日が来るとは思ってもいなかった？
君は悪い人ではない。
それをあなたが言うんだ。もちろん私は悪い人ではない。天に代わって正しいことをするまでだ。
ならば話し合おうではないか。
あなたに話すことはない。
確かに僕は君を殺した。それは僕の罪だと認めよう。さっき君が復讐しようとした時、僕は抵抗しなかった。
8 times 8 times 4 is the same thing as green. Does it make sense to you? Absolutely not. Is this a sort of like puzzle?
"私はあなたの体を一体壊しただけで、あなた自身は無事だ。それがおあいこだって？その体を全部壊し、復活したくてもできなくするまで私の気は済まないんだ。
Please don't.
君だって無事に僕の前に現れたじゃないか。
If the equation 8 times 4 was a color, wouldn't it be green? Huh? If the equation 8 times 4 was the color, wouldn't it be green? Loading. I do be broken right now.
なんだと？
僕が君を殺して、君も僕を殺した。そして二人とも復活した。それに、僕が君の体を治さなかったら、君は復活できなかった。そうだろう？
If you had to turn the equation 8 times 4 into a color, would it be green? No? Yes? Maybe? If you flip the numbers? I'm lost. Are you gonna just these nuts me with that or something? Is this like the most complicated these nuts joke?
それを言うなら、僕は復讐の相手ではなく、君の恩人だよ。
あなた、それは。
She was speechless.
君が
Just
天
like
命
me.
でしたことは十分じゃないか。ここは僕のような悪人ばかりではない。君と戦ったデュランダルや崩壊を倒そうとするバルキリー。
Wait.
君が天命でしたことは十分じゃないか。ここは僕のような悪人ばかりではない。君と戦ったデュランダルや崩壊を倒そうとするバルキリー。
I think he just mentioned that he fought Durandal. I'm asking you if you had to assign a color to an equation 8 times 4, would it be green? Sure. What about 9 times 3, would it be blue? Sure, I guess. Sure.
彼女たちを
Maybe.
犠牲にするべきではないだろう。
Don't really think about this. I'm trying! I'm lost! I'm overloading here! Her face turned red and then pale. She meant to say something, but instead she sniffed and left without a word.
どこに行くんだい？
あなたには関係ない。
一つ君にアドバイスをしよう。
アドバイス？あなたのアドバイスはいらない。
友よ、せっかく知り合ったんだ。僕はこの世界で君を最も理解する者の一人だよ。
Someone tells you, hey, color these equations. The first equation is 5 times 4. What color do we assign it? I'd probably just say the first color that comes to mind, which would be red, currently.
君は迷ってる。そうだろう？目覚めたばかりの君は、まだ自分のことをよく分かっていないし、その立場にも慣れていない。君には君をよく知り、よく理解するものが必要だ。その人に進む方向を正してもらい、目標を見つけてもらうんだ。
あなた、私と一緒に行きたいのか？
まさか、過去の君のことだよ。君は死ぬ直前、都政の羽を一枚残した。僕はそれがどこにあるのか分かっている。
The next equation is 8 times 6.
その所有者はちょうど君の知り合いだ。
What color is that? Gray. Otto Apocalypse put on his most friendly smile.
ケビン・カスラナが持ってるよ。
So Otto's the one that points her towards towards Kevin. She took off and sped up, like an arrow piercing the sky.
オットーは騙してない。確かに傷を全部治してくれた。
She had never felt so light, strong, and free for 5 centuries. Ripping the air apart felt exhilarating.
今の私は たとえケビンが相手でも。いや、何を考えてる？勝つに決まってる。
If you had to translate 8 times 8 into a vegetable, what would you make it? Oh god, you actually just gave me the absolute most difficult question. I have never thought about vegetable and fruits. I can't remember which one's which. Uh, uh, what's a vegetable? What's a vegetable? Tomato? Is tomato a vegetable? Tomato's a vegetable, right?
よく考えたら、昔は一度も彼に勝てなかったけど、私たちは互いに一度も本気を出さなかった。
What about carrot? Does that sound correct or something else? Are you like filling up some one of those like whatchamacallit personality tests or something? Because it sounds like you're getting a little bit carrot might be like an option. I want you to assign one. Don't just say the first one you think of. I'm just trying to see what you think. Huh? It is a personality test. Carrot. 8 times 8 into carrot. Potato. Potato, potato.
崩壊エネルギーの適応性は彼の方が上だけど、戦闘技術だと私の方が有利だ。
What color would 4 times 4 be?
もし都政の羽を使えば。
What colors am I missing? Black.
勝敗はわからない。
Now this is a phase. The defension down is incomplete.
うるさい、そんなのわかってる。
You don't have to say it like that, Hua. The function down she sold from Otto was just a copy of the original with limited power. His answers suck. What are you trying to do? What color would 4 times 4 be? You're 100%. The fact that you're getting limited options. Okay, between red and blue, green. Yeah, see, the fact that you're getting limited by options is 100% telling me that you're doing multiple option, like some sort of like test, like personality test garbage. It's yellow.
盗む？あれは私が彼に残したもの。返してもらっただけだ。
So she can read this? She can read the narrator? Is she the four-wall breaking Hua? She couldn't help but sniff at the voice in her head.
私は都政の羽の持ち主。あの羽は私を見てすぐ私の言うことを聞いたじゃないか。
What color would 4 times 4 be? I swear I'm not. It's my own research. You're an abnormal ass specimen. Yeah, I bet. I'm telling you, 99% of people would say green. Why? What's the connection between 4 times 4 and green? She had summoned the function down when she left Otto, and the phoenix within instantly became one with her. Does it make sense? It doesn't make sense!
意識のある生き物にこれを解決する方法はない。試しでオットーから記憶をコピーしたけど、彼は全く気づかなかった。ケビンに同じ手を使えば、もしかしたら彼は天下制裁を手に取るチャンスすらないかもしれない。
What color would 7 times 7 be of those 4 options? Green.
そうだ。私はケビンにも羽を残したのかな？
Probably, right? Search your memory.
やだ、めんどくさい。どうせすぐに答えがわかるし、探す必要もない。
Right, whatever this is first.
これは千載一遇の機会だ。
Said an old. This is very slow. Said an old man's sweary voice.
天命統制の失敗による余波は未だに消えていないにもかかわらず、 カーセラナの小娘がまた秋分を広めたとは千年の
No, it doesn't work like that. Fuck.
御三家がこれほど窮地に陥ったことはない。
Can I like...
そして工場議会がこれを見逃すこともない。
The aftermath of Schickal's failed eastward conquest has anticipated yet the youngest castellan incurred the scandal. For thousands of years, the three houses have never been in such awkward position. The League of Castell would not just let it slide. You have programming malfunction. If you could kiss any non-fiction being right now, who would you pick? Pick from what? Non-fiction being? What the hell is a non-fiction being? And you can't say me since I'm so amazing and second will ruin the question? Shut the hell up, Aaron. Non-fiction being that I would kiss my kitty. Of course I would kiss my kitty. Give her like a kiss on the head. Any real person? It has to be a person now? Ugh! You're so complicated. What the fuck would I even kiss? I would like hate kissing anybody that I can think of. Like, it's my mother's cheek. Is that it? Like that's the only thing thought process that I have, and just like giving a kiss to like anyone. I'm talking making out tongue-on-tongue action. Motherfucker. Is there even a real person that I like? Is there any actor or actress that I like? No. Is there any sort of like big person that I like? No. Not like affectionately kissing your cat. The fuck would I ever kiss?
カスラナ家を失脚させるのは始まりに過ぎない。貴族らはこのことについて大いに騒ぎ立てるだろう。
Can I just randomly say the girl that I like doesn't actually exist? And just leave it like that? I literally have no idea what, if I had like the choice of kissing somebody, I literally have no idea what I would kiss. I don't care about anyone.
奴らの目的は御三家を取り壊し、我々の持っている権力を無理やり議会に譲らせることだ。
Maybe a voice actor for a character you like who's also hot IRL. I don't know. That's the thing. I was thinking of voice actors and I seriously can't think about anyone. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna say the first person that I can actually think of, and it's Miyuki Sawashiro because she's the voice of. No, maybe I should choose Rie Tanaka, the voice of Kiana. Also, this is like straight up. I guess you could say that I'm a little bit spoiled of what's going on right here because this is the thing that happens in Ellen Palatino's manga that I ended up reading. I was supposed to read it later, but because it's the last manga that I have left, I decided to just like read it now, especially because it's about Otto and Callan. And right now, they're talking about it. Taking down House Castellana, the failed eastward conquest that Fu Hua stopped by taking down Callan and the army of what would it call the? It's not the Far East. It's not Chenso. What would it? The people of Schicksal. Mine would be Mikasa Ackerman's VA, dub or sub. Live and die by Mikasa. Isn't your profile picture Mikasa? Mikasa Sukasa? As a matter of fact, it's not Eren, right? I'm looking at it. Yeah, it is. Her. It isn't she's gorgeous? Sure, dude. Can you fix her? Can you fix her from being like an absolute brocon? By the way, I haven't finished the what you call it, Attack on Titan. The farthest I got is to the point where they get to the beach for the first time. I heard even more when she looked like what the insults call the man. All right.
それは許されぬことだ。
I am missing words. The old man paused for a moment, casting a meaningful gaze at his youngest son. This is so slow! I can't click through it! Otto Apocalypse felt the whole world was spinning. Though it was an answer he already knew. No! Shit. Yeah, I can't really like skip anything. The girl whom he had always loved was sentenced to death. He went to any length to try to save her, and was rejected when reluctantly turning to his distant father, which was his last resort. I don't recommend Attack on Titan to anyone because weird fetish shippers, ending haters have an entire agenda to convince anyone who isn't educated on Attack on Titan to think because I married someone in the ending despite no evidence and only counter evidence. Ah, yes, I see. Calling Castellana must die, every word pounded on his heart into deeper despair. He pondered over those words, unaware of what his father continued to say. Is that weird My Hero Academia fetish shipping type bullshit? There's a lot of those. I've seen it happen a lot in these games as well. I guess I didn't read the part that was right after that. It said Nicholas Apocalypse, the most powerful man in Europe. Make horrible mistakes without realizing.
私への警告だったにもかかわらず、私は戸惑った。撤退を選ばなかったがために弱みを握られてしまった。
Here's the thing about shipping is that I'm very open to all ships. Man on man, girl on girl, women on women, normal couple or like normal love. I'm very like open to anything. As long as you don't become an ass about it. Like there's a bunch of like shippers who are just like, you must accept that this is the real ship or I will end your life. And those kind of people I really don't like. Because just let anyone like whatever they want. Anyone should have the freedom to ship anyone with whoever they wish. It's all because Mikasa is in proximity to a man and also a child in the end credit scene, but the guy is literally canonically proven to be Armin, her friend, and the child in the image is adopted. Set up in episode 3. I see.
こたびの御三家の弾劾の責任は私にある。
There we go.
カスラナの処刑後、私は古城議会の望む通りに引退を宣言し、奴らの不意をつく。
I think I'll skip the moment that he's done with his like dialogue. I don't care, I get violent over shippers a lot. Attack on Titan ends up revolving around Eren and Mikasa's relationship. People can ship anyone as long as he's involved in Eren Mikasa with someone else. Oh, so you're that kind of people, huh? That kind of person. Shame on you.
だが、一つ問題がある。天命主教の座を誰に継がせるのか。理想の継承者はすでに死んだ。フェルディナンドさえ生きていれば、統制の失敗の影響もここまで大きくなかった。ファビアン、私の2番目の息子は外面ばかり威勢のいい カスラナのような人間だ。
It's so slow. This is a family tree. Frank, Nicholas Apocalypse, the person that's currently talking, Sabrina Shadiak, his wife, Bianca, Lisa, John, and Ferdinand. He died, and their son or daughter, Marcel, Fabian, the one that he's talking about, Otto. I don't understand this. I don't know all the family trees. They're kind of weird. No, not shame on me. Like I get legitimately nasty over those ships. I don't play it out with that weird. I don't play it all with that weird shit. Dedicate a lot of time to bullying them. You can chip it, but then making partners and trying to prove their ship is canon. And all of this BS to stay in their head. Yeah, I mean, chips should indeed stay in their head because they're never going to be canon. And you should never try to make them quote unquote canon. It's always fan. It's always the fandom. It's always fan stuff. So oh, this isn't actually finished if I actually hide it. Conquest consequences. More like Aslana.
そしてお前はおっと
Shipment. Not sorry. It's such a mentally Aww. I just got hit by a stray bullet because I like shipping. Well, unlucky. Otto was awakened from contemplation the moment he heard his name. He looked up and was surprised to see a rare, fun look on his father's face.
おっと私がお前に無関心なのはお前を見くびっているからだと思うか
I wouldn't care too much if they shut the hell up and stop popping out of the blue to write it off as canon. Maybe you'll be fine with my shipping because they never make it canon. I just like it, in general.
いや、とにかくお前も私の息子だ。子供の中ではお前が一番複雑だ。
Think of it like children.
お前は母サブリナ譲りの聡明さを持ち、私から策略を学び、そしてお前の凶悪さは祖父であるフランクにそっくりだ。
Grandfather's Frank's malevolence.
他人はお前を軟弱で無能だというが、そうではない。お前が黒死病で立てた手柄がお前の能力を証明している。だがはっきり言おう。お前は天命の大司教になるにはまだ不十分だ。
Is there anything else? Nope. Like if they're single, okay. If they aren't, it's borderline weird and she should be left alone because that's the otter's choice. Otto remained silent. He remembered Nicholas once promised at a family conference to let him be the successor. But he waited patiently.
私はこの座を
Nicholas Apocalypse continued. I might have skipped something. To give myself my seat to Marcel, Ferdinand's eldest son.
フェルディナンドの長男
Oh, there it is.
マサイルに譲る。あの子はまだ16歳だが、石のように固い心を持ち、物事を冷静に処理できる能力もある。私とお前の母、そして ファビアンとリサは引退する。結果、古城議会は我々が権力を手放したと思うだろう。マサイルが言う通りに動く坊ちゃんではなく、おじしであると気づいた時にはもう手遅れだ。
It'd be funny if you said, it's funny, you said politics, said friendship, and then if you finish Attack on Titan, there's a 99% chance that you being pro-shipper would be my deal breaker. It might already be the deal breaker, because I already did mention that I like shipping. I'm a fan of that fan art. Anything else? Nope.
お前の母も私もこれが最善の策であると思っている。ただ一点を除いては。その予想外の点こそお前がここにいる理由だ。今から言う条件をよく聞け。
Nicholas took a step forward. The stately, authoritative bearing of the overseer froze the air in the hall. In all seriousness, it really would be overcome so many long-time friendships over them supporting a particular discussing a new relationship. Just, I don't know, something about shipping taking characters, especially when the relationship is intrinsic to the story, makes me so violently ill, especially since Attack on Titan is mostly fetish. His voice took an even more serious tone.
それは天命と御三家の最大の災いの種だ。
Conrad Castellana, Francis, Elaine, Luca, Velena, Callan, Wilhelm, Sophia, Gaspard, Laura, Claudia, Carlos, Aja, Sara, Reina, Ruben.
昔と違い、カスラナはもはや我々の確固たる盟友ではない。もしフランシスが生きていれば、きっと自分の娘がこのようなことになるのを許さなかっただろう。古城議会も図に乗るような状況にはならなかったはずだ。だがこの世にもしもなど存在しない。
Sadly, there's no F. Got to go see you another time. All right, Aaron. Thanks for hanging by. A lot of topics were thrown out today. Have fun. Whatever you're gonna do. Like, good luck with whatever you do. Bye bye.
フランシスはすでに死に、その優秀な子供たちも疫病や遠征中に倒れ、後を継ぐ者もおらぬ。
Francis is dead in the Plague and the Conquest.
現当主のルカに兄のような才能はない。
Luca.
あれは犬のようにのたれ死ぬ運命だ。
Luca.
カスラナ、三つ目の伝統的な家系。それを我々の手中に入れなければ、必ず天命の致命的な急所となる。
I see. Both the Apocalypse finally understood. The truth was, he was not important, and neither was Callan. The only thing that mattered was their betrothal, which could put Castellana in the palm of Apocalypse. Wily old fox.
おっと、我が息子よ。お前に対価として提示するものは、 お前が決して断れないものだ。カレン・カスラナの命だ。そして私の要求もお前には断る理由のないものだ。カレン・カスラナと結婚をしろ。どんな手段を使ってでも構わん。奴とお前の婚約を遂行するのだ。
God, loads and loads of notifications are getting randomly thrown. At me from my phone. Like how you do it, but it must happen.
見返りとしてカレンの命を保証し、当主の座もお前に譲ろう。そしてルカも代わりに始末してやろう。簡単だろ
う。So the entire idea is that right now, this is right after all the things that happen, and Cullen becomes like a, whatchamacallit, after stealing the black box. And right now, what they're mentioning is that Nicholas will not make Otto the head of the house. But if he manages to marry Callan and both of them end up becoming a pawn in his like entire plan, he will also make him the head of the house and deal with it, Luca for him. The strange thing was, after all those years, the dream of his life was finally about to come true. He could marry the girl whom he had always been pinning for. But he didn't feel the joy, because he knew it was not what Callan Castellana wanted. And then it just ends. So I'm gonna guess, from what I saw in this movie here, or like from what I saw in the chapter, all of these are probably gonna be memories that Fu Hua's like stripping from the people that she's meeting, probably. Just curious. Give me a second while I check something real quick. Right, still got an hour. If I still got an hour, I might not be able to finish all the way to this point. This like entire talk that happened here took a long time. Mostly because it was really slow. Mostly because it was really, really slow. Checking something real quick. Right. This episode represents the adventurous encounters during Fu Hua's friendly visit, the Dragon's Lair. Don't tell me the sound is bugged. Please don't tell me the sound is bugged. Whew, safe.
あれ？地下に人がたくさんいる。おかしい。ここの意識にはみんな活気がなく、感情を感じない。反応が強いのは2つ。いや、3つ。違う。増えた。
You've been spotted.
うるさい。
Why is there so much fourth wall breaking with this Fu Hua?
気候は操れないよ。壊すしかないね。
I've mentioned it before, and I'll mention it a billion times. Being able to cancel your own like attacks by dodging is still the greatest thing ever. For you, just a piece of cake. She gazed down, as if seeing through the ground and surveying the underground structures. Her smile died. She muttered to herself. They didn't even notice the rock as she stared up above the ground. She will make him answer her. One, two. Oh wait. 1, 2, 3. Dodge. Dodge. It's so good. The combo is just like perfect. It's fast, it feels smooth, you're not like slow, you can stun knock them. It's like, it's perfect. Everything's good about it. Jackal. Well, we haven't seen her for a long time. She didn't even appear in the entire, well, did appear at the start of May's little like arc in Coral. Jackal couldn't take her eyes off the wasted mechs on the screen and the mysterious girl on top of the mech pile. I hate it that when I do stuff on like Discord, sometimes it takes off like streamer mode. Oh, I know what I would do. Perfect. Let's make yourself do not disturb. And now I don't have to worry about streamer mode. The operator did her bidding. Another trick of Otto's. The thought soon crept up her mind. Oh wait, they're supposed to be allied right now. I forgot about that. Exactly this moment, the mysterious girl lifted her head and made eye contact with Jackal through the screen. Oh, oops. Huh? That ain't me. She slammed her fist into the ground, and the tremor was instantly felt by Jackal hundreds of feet below. When she checked the monitor again, all the drones had fallen, putting back images of cracked camera lenses. They lost track of the girl. And that is exactly what Fu Hua was trying to do. Trouble Kevin. Don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. It's more for wall breaking. Yeah, but not only that, she always likes to use mechs to fight her battles. She's always using mechs.
者は5号と7号通路の境にいる。1体と4体、奴を包囲しろ。螺旋エリアに追い詰めるんだ。
うるさいなあ。戦術を放送で伝えるなんてバカなの？
怖いのか？怖いなら投降しろ。苦しまずに死なせてやる。
聞こえてるんだ。
基地のことは全てこのジャッカルの耳に入るようになっている。ヨルムンガンドを挑発するなんて生きて帰れると思うな。
Nothing in this base can escape my jackal ears.
隠れているくせに大口を叩くことだけは得意だ。
あいつを包囲しろと言っているだろう。早くかかれ。
また少しも学ばないんだね。
Right?
こんなもので私を倒せるわけがない。
Just getting stun locked and not actually doing anything. I mean, I guess it did take some damage a second ago.
気候を作るのにお金はいらないの？それ
うるさい。これは戦術だ。
Sure, we'll talk about tactics after you need to repair all of these mechs. Hell, you might not even be able to repair them yourself. You might need to make new ones, and that will be very, very costly.
すぐに分からせてやる。そこで待ってろ。電磁ネット展開。
The gateway was shut down, and a blue flood of electricity rushed in, stirring up the mech debris on the floor. On the monitor, the intruder was effortlessly floating in the air.
私は飛べるの。電流を使えば私を麻痺させられると思った？
バカ! I can fly!
調子に乗るのもそこまでだ。
All of a sudden, sizzling hot air flew in from all the sides.
電子レンジは使ったことある？ローストチキンは食べたことある？
Look at this muggle look.
この電磁オーブンの中でいつまで飛べるのか見てみようじゃないか。
Oh, this is where it ends.
口ほどにはめられた。
She actually can't stop this. Try function down?
一本だけだと力はかなり弱い。肉眼で見える距離でないとうまく操作できない。幸い温度はそんなに高くない。逃げる方法を考える時間は十分にある。
これで終わりだと思うな。
Following Jackal's hysterical cry, a flood of spider bombs rushed out of the mech wreckage.
ああ、思い切り殺す方が私らしい。さあ、もがくがいい。
時間は多くない。最も
Apparent
弱い場所
temperature.
はこの辺りだと思う。
Find the weak spot and try attacking them.
焦げる匂い。
Shut up, Jackal! Right here. That ain't it. Oops. Missed one attack.
投降しろ。
Or here. I think I skipped it by walking too close to this. What's the next one? This one. Not the spider bomb. Me get. For as much of like a weak spot that is, she blew open a big hole into the wall. Jackal couldn't believe her own eyes. A gigantic hole grew out of the ultra-rigid heat-proof wall that she deemed impregnable.
なんという破壊力。
Jackal, I'm sure you're not supposed to still be hot red. She was forced to entertain this ridiculous idea. I wonder if... From her saying if she is human, I wonder if she just doesn't know if Kevin doesn't tell like his people about the entire thing about them coming from like the previous. Well, they know that he came from like the previous era, but they probably don't know that Fu Hua is also someone from the previous era and has all this like non-human powers. Jackal's cold sweat began to drip like rain. Trigger evasion skill at least one time. It's been so long since the last time that they had like a special objective. And I've never had the need to actually evade because I keep going into like that mode that makes it so that they can't actually hit me, the enemies. She couldn't hold back her smile when her eyes met the hole in the wall. Don't get distracted. Need to be more careful. There's times that she says like more things whenever she like stops talking, or more things that are being said on the English lines. What would you do? What would you do to have his attention? Way different from a normal Fu Hua. She wouldn't kill. Or maybe she's just mentioning it like in a very aggressive way. Like, I'm gonna defeat her so badly that it's gonna seem like I'm plucking her head out from her body. Oh, here it is. And it is stun locked. I always forget to use that attack. The weapon skill. And done. So cocky. So I'm done with your shit, Jackal. Just hurry up and throw me something better. Hmm? AI override. Is she controlling it? I can't stun lock this one. This Fu Hua is really hitting the weak points of Jackal. Jesus. Oh, this is my chance to unlock it. This might be my chance. There we go.
律者捕獲のために用意したものを全部出そう。全部。今日こそ。
時間を無駄にする必要はない。
Look who has woken up. Jekyll turned back and found her sire right behind her. But for how long has he been behind her?
そうしよ。
僕ならここにいる。
It wasn't addressing Jekyll. It was addressing her. Is this the next stopping point? Ugh, I'm gonna hate this. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. I hate the fact that I just don't have a single one. I don't even want to grab this, but I have to because then there'll be like a red dot forever stuck in front of me. Right, so what time is it? Because I may have another plan. Oh, it's 1:30. I don't think there's a chance that I'm gonna be able to finish all of these ones. So I might be swapping my plans a little bit. I think tomorrow, and there's also the fact that I started late because of having to go to the doctor's appointment. I think I'm gonna watch the movie in both of these, the like document thingies. And tomorrow, I'm gonna start from here, and I'm gonna finish all the way to this point. Might be a short stream, or I might make it a little bit longer by playing Pause Honkai Odyssey, finishing Pause Honkai Odyssey because I have still been farming that behind the scenes. And the day after tomorrow, I might go on to the last chapter of the arc, sort of just to like try and keep like that chapter by itself because it's supposed to be like the end of like this entire arc. So yeah, I think I'm gonna be doing that. Now, should I start with the movie or should I start with the documents? I think I'll start with the movie.
その手下はどこで見つけたんです？変わった人ですね。
彼女は役に立つ。戦闘ではないところで。
She's a scientist, yeah. And she was also very, very prone to like doing things based on her emotions. Like she was getting really angry. She was about to literally throw everything at her, which would have been really, really bad. The two of them walked out of the base and onto the ground.
いつものあれですね。崩壊に勝つために使えるものは何でも使う。そうでしょ?
Kevin stopped, but Hua walked on without realizing.
君は誰だ?
Oh?
私はフォア。あなたの友人です。
She says with those crazy eyes of her.
フアは僕のことを友人とは呼ばない。
正直に話すと、オットーに頭を打たれて私は一回死にました。今の私は目覚めたばかりで、まだいろいろなことを分かっていません。あなたのことは覚えています。5万年前、私たちは共に戦っていました。だから、友人だと思いました。
It's like someone that has amnesia, but the moment that they regain like the memories or that they know that the memories they had before, they don't like keep them as their own memories, but instead they're just like seeing them as if it was like a movie. Doesn't make them who they were before.
君はフアとは違う。
Right? More aggressive, the way that she speaks, everything is way, way different from like the normal Hua.
私もそう思います。昔の記憶を思い返すといつも、どうしてそうなるのと思ってしまいます。ケビン、こう考えましょう。私は過去のファーより、もっと良くなったファーです。
I'm still Hua, only better. In silence, Kevin slowly drew his blade.
私のことをよくわかっていますね。ちょうど同じことを考えていました。
Kevin pointed the blade at her.
友か敵か選べ。
I love that line.
友か敵か選べ。
But I think I like the one in the preview movie more because he was like being way more aggressive. And that's where it ends. So on the first like little part, Otto did mention that she fought Duranda, I think. And right here it seems like she fights Kevin. So now I'm wondering if the things that happen in the preview are actually supposed to be like quote unquote the movies that are like happening currently, like right here. Like that little like fight about like just like doing like an explosion and shooting like making Durandal go out flying and having to like stop Fu Hua with King and then getting attacked by the feathers because she wasn't attacked. Her body wasn't attacked. The only thing that was attacked by the feathers, like the dark feathers, were the summons, King. Anyways, maybe I'll figure it out later. Maybe we'll see more about what's going on. Maybe we'll get like another movie because there's a lot of movies here. There's one here. There's another one here. There's another one here. There's the double movie at the end. So I remember there'll be something extra. So now, let's see what this document is about. Snow covered the mountains. The setting sun cast a warm orange glow on the foot of the mountain. Alone, Kevin was bathed in the orange glow in the snow. Layla stood in the cabin. It was piercingly cold in there, so she wrapped herself in her coat tighter. There's no voice for this one. It's getting dark. Why do you watch the sunset every day, Layla? Because I don't want it to sleep in tomorrow morning, so I gotta check on it when it gets off work. The sun can't hear you. That's why I always salute it with my eyes, like this. Layla abruptly turned her head and widened her eyes to look at Qingqiu. She had limpid amber eyes, like those of a kitten. Layla, you scared me! Qingqiu took a step back, raising her butchy eyebrows. She does have pretty nice and pretty eyes. Raising her eyebrows and her freckles seemed to be faking a tantrum. Something else. Chickens can be Valkyries. Layla probably said that. I never wanted to be a Valkyrie. It's too dangerous. I don't want to be like you. You wouldn't understand. It's super cool to be a Valkyrie. We fight Honkai beasts and keep everyone safe. Said Layla, swinging her fist in the air. The warm orange glow of the setting sun filled the small living room. Kevin with no fireplace or heater would have been taken over by the cold in the winter. But this one seemed to be enveloped by warmth. I don't want you to be a Valkyrie, Layla, says Qingqiu in a low voice, staring at the water in her teacup. Valkyries get paid well. When I get my first salary, I'll buy you a new dress. But I don't want a new dress. Qingqiu's voice became much louder out of a sudden. I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you die. Hey, don't say that. Can't you be happy for me instead of predicting my death? Layla pinched Qingqiu's cheek, only to find her eyes filled with tears. A girl from our neighboring town told me her sister never came back after she became a Valkyrie. Qingqiu held Layla in her arms tightly. I don't want that to happen to you. The sound of crying made Qingqiu's words indistinct, but Layla didn't ask. because she knew clearly what Qingxu was afraid of, and it was also what she had been afraid of. Qingxu's and Leila's parents all died because of Honkai. At first they thought it was a natural disaster that puny humans couldn't resist no matter what. But then an institution called Schicksal came to recruit Valkyries. Girls who could pass their tests would gain powers to fight the Honkai. Seeing Qingxu shivering with cold in the shabby cabin, Leila made a decision. I'll try to become a Valkyrie. The test went surprisingly well, but she also learned about the risks behind this high-paying job. Many Valkyries died on the field. If I die, someone will take care of Qingxu, right? As long as Qingxu could survive and spend each winter in a warm house, I wouldn't ask for more. Leila, you... Do not The girl who was embracing Leila suddenly started to tremble with static noise. B-rank Valkyrie Leila, your memory travel of this month has been used up. Please log off immediately. Aww. B-rank Valkyrie Leila. Memory travel of this month has been used up. Oops. Have to be careful about that one. The sun was setting when Leila left the memory travel room. The dim afterglow couldn't light up her amber eyes that had become dull. She hated to see the sunset. It stained the corridor with an ugly orange tint. Leila trotted to her room and locked herself inside. Being very careful. Like, this is very, very slow, so I'm just like reading it off of this. Being very careful to just like not skip it because I want to like skip it and read it off of this, but I'm afraid that at one point it's just gonna end. Hanging in the closet were a row of time-worn dresses for girls of 12 to 22 years old, with one for each age, as if the sun had never set. And the girl had never gone. Yeah, like right there, I would have 100% missed that last line. So this is the memory of Leila, a B-rank Valkyrie. She's B-rank, she's pretty low rank. And she's going through like a memory thing, and all the static and stuff like that makes me think that it's some sort of like VR. So I'm guessing that Valkyries have like the chance to go through like a memory of their own life for a certain period of for a certain period of time each month. And the thing that Leila chose to actually see through like the VR was her time with Qingxu. I already forgot her name. Really bad with names that I see for the first time. And she's been a Valkyrie for like quite some time, and this was the time before she became a Valkyrie. Her time of being a Valkyrie is like not good, because then it mentions like the thing that she liked to see, like the sunset, suddenly became something that she hated. She hated the orange tint glow, and her eyes became dull, all because of the amount of things that she had seen in her time as a Valkyrie. And she did keep her promise of like buying a dress for Qingxu, but she hasn't given the dress to her. The reason? I don't know. Maybe she's not able to go back to her. Maybe she died. Maybe something happened. There's a reason why she cannot like give that dress give the dresses to Qingxu. And I'm guessing they mentioned like dresses from age to 12 to like 22. gonna guess that she bought a dress every single year for her, and she hasn't been able to see her for 10 years. So either she died or she just can't go back, and she's been a Valkyrie for 10 years. And now she's just like a completely like battle scarred and stuff like that. Like her mind is just like she has PTSD. It's like it's terrible. It's been terrible for her. Now it's for the last one.
こちらはサミットさん。
A gentleman dressed in black. I'm just gonna wait. A gentleman dressed in black tie introduced me. I looked at his gold watch shining with the luster of wealth, one of the many things I would never possess in my life.
彼は病の患者です。
I didn't understand those words, but I still made a courteous smile to the lady in front of me.
そしてこちらが
Said the man obsequiously.
クリオ博士です。
I wonder who this could be. Skin tone? Clothing? Looks very much like someone we just saw a couple of minutes ago. Screaming into a screen. I certainly knew who she was, the only one who could save my life.
クリオ博士は非常に忙しいお方ですが、あなたの状況を理解した後、いくつもの会議をキャンセルして面会に来たのです。そして残念ながらあなたと博士に告げなければいけません。今回の面会の残り時間はあと25分です。博士の次の会議は3時を予定しております。お相手はレオ理事長です。
彼と話すことはない。
諦めてください。取締役会はただ全ての材料は揃えてあります。顔を出すだけですよ、博士。
I thought she was talking about meeting the person that we're currently the person that we're currently playing as, but she just doesn't have anything to say to Mr. Rowe. He stared at that woman. They suddenly started to talk, totally ignoring me, as if they were not wasting my precious 25 minutes. Anger and shame started to build up in my chest, but I needed this woman's help to save my life. So the only thing I could do was smile.
もういい。
If evil, why hot? This is a great question. Has been in the mind of many gamers throughout the year. It's just like incredibly evil. She's a scientist, but she's a mad scientist. All of the experiments that she has done have been like at the cost of someone's life. She's not doing anything to like help someone. The test that Otto was doing in order to like cure the Honkai, what call it, the Honkai infection, even though there were like sacrifices that had to be done in other people, it was to save more people. But she's not doing anything of the sort. All she's like looking for is like the human evolution. I think she mentioned in one of the things that she said, I'm already completely lost in talking about another character. She's absolutely crazy.
25分しかないのだろう。時間は貴重だ。車の中で待機してろ、ビクター。サミットさんと二人きりで話がしたい。
At the very least, that's very nice of her, because Victor was definitely wasting her time, or like his time. The man nodded deferentially and walked away.
サミットさん、そう呼んでいいだろうか。
Dr. Cleo suddenly approached me. Our eyes met, which made me very uncomfortable.
好きなようにお呼びください、レディ。
Lady.
ほう、礼儀正しい人なのだな。
She smiled and continued.
これはいいスタートだ。私にはわかる。今夜の我々の面会はさぞかし有益なものとなるだろう。
Dr. Cleo leaned back in her chair,
あんたは
looking grim all of a
自
sudden.
分があとどれくらい生きられるか知っているか？
いや、
I answered honestly.
もしかしたら1秒後には死んでいるかもしれないな。長くて2年しか生きられない。
その通りだ。今のところこの病を治療する方法も特効薬もない。誰も全世界で7人しか必要としない薬を開発したくないからな。
For a disease with only 7 patients worldwide.
上条製薬を除いては。
Except Heliopolis Life Sciences.
上条製薬を除いては。私たちの目的は全ての病を克服することだからな。金などのような浅はかなもののためではない。だが、全てのものには対価が必要だ。そうだろ、サミットさん。
There's no way that Jackal is doing it for this reason. To conquer all diseases. Maybe as a way to think of as like a challenge, but she doesn't want to help people. The end goal of conquering all diseases is not helping people. It's simply just the fact that she's conquering all diseases.
そうだ。
I murmured. I didn't know what other answers this question had. I was only 27 years old, though I hadn't been a successful man. I didn't want to die. I didn't know why fate was so cruel to me, but I knew I was willing to try anything, so long as it could save my life.
助けてください。博士、お願いします。
said the woman. There was a hint of disdain in her eyes. Oh no. Did I just disgust her? Maybe I should appear all tough and brave.
懇願するな、サミット。誰にも懇願してはいけない。
I nodded, but I couldn't help crying. For my fading life, for the approaching death, and for my only hope. I tried to choke back tears, but it was agonizing. Yes, agonizing. I didn't want to die.
私は死にたくない。
I said with a lump in my throat.
死にたくない。助けて。助けてください。
This woman in front of me had a seat on the board of directors at Heliopolis Life Sciences. She was the illustrious Dr. Cleo in the medical community, and my only savior. Something else. She was my only goddess at the moment. I would do anything for her. Is there anything else? Nope. She remained silent. 25 minutes. There's not much time for me. I kept talking, crying, and begging, feeling ashamed of myself. I didn't know how long I went on for. When I finally came to my senses, I wiped off my tears and gazed at the woman with misty eyes. And gazed at that woman with my misty eyes. I must admit, that scene in her face would be indelibly imprinted on my mind till the day I die. Dr. Cleo was beaming at me.
まったく。泣いていても仕方ないだろう。強くあれ、サミット。もう分かったぞ。そうか。本当に死にたくないのだな。それはよかった。私が必要なのはあんたのような人。生に強い願望を抱く人だ。
She took out a handkerchief from her pocket and handed it to me. Someone like her Give me an exquisite handkerchief embroidered with gold thread to someone like me to wipe my filthy tears and snot. She gazed at me with a curious smile as I cleaned my face and signaled to Victor to wait longer. Then she said to me,
明日午前10時に上条に来い。実験の合意書にサインしてもらう必要がある。あんたの命は私のものだ。そしてあんたを生かすことを約束しよう。いいだろう、サミットさん。
It is impossible to trust her. I responded weakly. This was what happened that day. Oh, oops. I made the most important decision of my life, and it hurts. It hurts! And I'm lying in a bed in a small, dark cell, and aware of how many days have passed. My eyes could no longer see anything, and the everlasting silence has disabled my ears. Only the overpowering stench keeps reminding me I'm still in this hellish lab. Every once in a while, some fluid would be infused into my body through a tube, which burns every cell of mine. She did help me survive, and at an affordable price. But everything comes with a price. Do you agree, Mr. Sepp? Her voice keeps echoing in my head, along with her sweet, innocent smile. That scene has been indelibly imprinted on my mind till the day I die. But I will never beg anyone, ever. Just as she said. I will make your life longer, but I never said that those extra days that I gave you in your life would be pleasant. And so, as I said before, Jackal cannot be trusted. He took that man who was about to die, who had what was it? Well, not very long in her life, from a disease that only 7 patients had in the world. For a disease that only had 7 patients in the world. He just made that poor man's life a hell. A hellish, hellish, hellish nightmare. I feel like today's was a really short stream. But it's also the fact that there's like a lot of talking just like going on. Oh, 36%, that's pretty good. It's like a third of it that I actually managed to finish. Of course it's a third of it because there's 3 cutting points. First one, second one, then the end. So at the end of the day, in front of Kiana and Bronia, the dark Fu Hua appears, the one that is not actually like Fu Hua. Because she's like way different in the way that she acts. She's more aggressive. The way that she speaks is different. Her tone is completely different. The things that she's thinking about, the things that she's saying, everything is completely different from like the normal Fu Hua. It's like night and day, the complete difference the both of them have, and we still don't know what the hell this means. It's like, is this the new Fu Hua that we're gonna be getting for like the entirety of the game? Is she truly turning evil from like the tone of the colors that she has in like her clothes? Her eyes are red. Although Fu Hua's eyes in the Phoenix form are also like red, but she has like a monochrome colors for her like clothing, which could make you like feel a little bit like suspicious, because those type of clothing either just like it means like she has like another type of clothing, or they're trying to tell us that she becomes evil. There's also the things that happen in the movie. In the movie, she not only attacks Durandal and Kevin, she also attacks Bronia, and in the last part, she says that she will change everything to Kiana. Saying, do you not recognize me? It's just like the curious thing that's happening right now. It's like we learn a lot about the normal Fu Hua, but now we have this like new Fu Hua that's like completely new and we know absolutely nothing about, and she also has like some sort of like voice in her head. that's sort of like being played by us, which is also curious. I don't know if this is supposed to be like a fourth wall break, or if this is supposed to signify something else. I don't currently have information to be able to get a theory going, because it does seem like it might be some sort of like fourth wall break because of the way that she acts every time that we choose like an option. But we also have only one option. We're not choosing from different options, so we don't have like the freedom of choice that a player would have. So it just makes it seem that we're just like sort of like quote unquote playing the part, or instead of her having like a narrator saying those things, it's actually like us as like just like, it's like the idea is just making it seem like somebody's giving her those choices, somebody's saying those things specifically, which we don't know who that is. We also had like on the first movie in Immortal Phoenix, we also had like that little like part where the ego, the super ego, and the id were like talking to Fu Hua, and the id was the closest to the personality of the new Fu Hua. So it could still be that same thing where it's just like that voice that's suddenly just like showing up. It could be the ego or the super ego, but we don't know. There's like no voice, or it isn't voice and isn't anything of the sort. It's just like it's an option that is being given to us to actually click on, and that's like the important part of. I just don't know what to think. I still don't have like enough information. Even through from playing the entirety of like chapter 20, I'm still sort of like lost as to where this is gonna lead us to. Because so far, all we know is that this is a Fu Hua chapter, from start to like end, from what it seems, because it's just like the entirety of the past of Fu Hua, or maybe it's just like a complete exposure of things that happened on the previous era, or the things that happened to the celestial Imperia that was Fu Hua at one point in time. And then we're going through the story of the Dark Fu Hua as she was doing all of these like big things, just like that were mentioned at the start of chapter 20 as well by Teresa. Something happened in Schicksal and Otto was missing. We know Otto's okay, and I also had no doubts that Otto was okay because Otto is Otto. But I still love seeing him back, instead of just like him being gone for like a bunch of like chapters. And her attacking World Serpent, which happened literally on the last stage, on the last couple of like stages. And it seems like she's gonna fight Kevin, or maybe by the time that I go onto this movie, she'd have already fought against Kevin and she's already on her way somewhere. And it's just like it's still like I don't see the end of the path. I can see what's going on with all this like explanation and all these things about Fu Hua, but I don't see what the end goal is gonna end up being. Is the end goal gonna be that Fu Hua is truly gonna become evil, attack Kiana and Bronya, and we're gonna have to so far in terms of the things that have happened in the entire game, we have unwillingly killing somebody that is important to the main characters. We have actually saving someone that is important to the main characters. We have going on a different path from somebody that's important to the main character. May is going on a different path than Kiana. This one is pretty much just like some sort of like exposure for like May like sort of like in like a story of like May and her understanding of like what was going on, of all the things that had happened throughout all these chapters, by drawing like a parallel of Owl and Anna. This might be, if we're losing something like all of the chapters in a different way, this might be the chapter where the main characters lose someone that is important to them because we have to kill them. This could be the end goal for this arc, killing Fu Hua. If Fu Hua truly became evil, she has lost herself and she's attacking attacking Kiana and May, not Kiana and May, Kiana and Bronya. And at the end of like the movie from like chapter 19, she says, "I will change everything," and changing everything means sort of like destroying the world, or doing something irreversible to the world. It's just like, and we need to like stop her, and the only way to stop her is killing her. And it's just like that might be what's gonna end up happening in the end for this arc. But of course, that's just like an idea that I'm throwing out, and I'm not drawing this like conclusion from like the things that are happening in the chapter. I'm drawing this conclusion from like some absolute bullshit that I'm bringing out. I am very, very aware that all the things that I'm saying can be pretty much completely bullshit that I'm bringing out from like the last couple of like the ends of like all the arcs, like all these different chapters. Like I didn't bring out any conclusion, or like didn't find any connection from this one. It was only from this one, this one, and this one. So yeah, tomorrow I think I'm just gonna finish chapter 21. Maybe might even end early, or I might finish post Honkai Odyssey, because right now I am level 25. I could just like grab the task for this like session of time and do them, get to probably level 27 at most, and hope that is enough to finish the story. I really hope that that is enough to finish the story for post Honkai Odyssey. The side quests actually give you nothing, no reward. Well, I guess I don't need to do the side quest, at the very least at this moment. I don't know if I'm gonna do it on stream, if I'm gonna do it like the tasks, doing them off stream. I'll see. Depends on the time. It all depends on the time. She's cute. I like her. So anyways, thanks for coming by. Thanks for watching. Thanks for seeing me think about watching me think about a lot of things in Honkai. It's always fun to figure out new things myself and think about theories, as always. And if everything goes well tomorrow, then see you tomorrow. Bye bye. I did say bye bye, but I didn't even have this open.